Assalamu alaikum. Today is the International Day for Persons with Disabilities. Throughout the world, people with disabilities continue to face barriers to their full participation in society. Many of them are often forced to live on the margins of mainstream societies. Negative societal attitudes towards such people continue to challenge their enjoyment of basic human rights. The question is, how much do we care about the disabled people in our society? How compassionate are we towards them? How well are we taking care of their needs and their basic rights? Are we playing on a level field? I'm Darshan Ahmed, and this is the fourth digit. We live in a world where over 1 billion people are disabled and 80% of them live in developing countries. To mark this year's International Day for Disabled People, the UN has set the theme Sustainable Development, the Promise of Technology. On tonight's show, we will focus on the situation of the disabled people living here in the Maldives and look at the challenges faced in addressing the issues they face. To talk to us, we have here with us tonight Aisha Luba, who is the Director of Program at CARE Society. CARE Society is one of the largest humanitarian NGOs in the Maldives, which was conceived in 1998. Since then, it has been engaged in drawing attention to the plight of people living with disabilities. Luba, welcome to the show. First of all, what are the key objectives of your NGO, the CARE Society?
When CARE Society started in 1998, our main focus was only on persons with disabilities, and we were focusing very much on the services available for people with disabilities and what are the things that need to be done in the society to mainstream disability as a sector in the Maldives. And from there we started in 2005. We actually integrated more things into our mandate, including working for the rights of women and children, also working with community-based organizations in outer islands. And also with Tsunami in 2004, we incorporated working in the area of disasters, especially working for survivors of natural disasters, and in such cases, I think it's CARE Society is the only NGO right now mandated to work in the field of disaster. So we have basically 4 of these areas that we are mandated to work for, and these 4 objectives, our main work is based on these 4 objectives actually.
Now, today we mark the International Day for Disabled People, and we had a number of events here in the Maldives as well. Now, can you tell us some of the highlights of the events that we had today?
To begin with, we actually started the day with this special function which was hosted by the Ministry of Law and Gender. Basically, the ministry who is responsible for the disability sector, and we even participated, CARE Society participated in the walk that was held by the MFPD. MFPD is one of the NGOs working in the field of disability, and the purpose of this walk is actually to create more awareness, and it was themed as opportunity work, which means that we wanted to highlight the opportunities that there are for people with disabilities in our community, especially with the Disability Act. I think we are talking very much on the basis of rights for persons with disabilities rather than that these are things that we do out of goodwill. The things that we need to do for people with disabilities comes with their basic rights. So I think one of the main focus of the work is actually to participate everybody working in this field to collaboratively work to provide these opportunities for people with disabilities. And CARE Society also, we had a little function to donate books to the library, National Library. The basic idea of donating books to National Library is we have a huge amount of books and different type of materials that can be used for gaining more knowledge regarding disability, especially focusing on students. Like there are like many students who are now studying in the field of disability, and even national at national level there are students who are working, who are studying in this field as well. So we thought it is important that these books and this information is available and accessible for the community, like for everybody who wants to have more knowledge in this area. So the basic idea is making it accessible for all, and with the function we have today, we actually got more opportunities to expand this collaboration with international libraries, so we could actually have a corner where there are a lot of information for people who really want to know more about disability and to learn more about themselves. And also we are hoping to have the National Library more accessible for people with disabilities, especially for children as well. So that collaboration we are starting to do, and I think it's a huge step ahead in terms of the opportunities available for people with disabilities in this community. And I think there are a few more things planned for this year, this month as well, but from Plaza Society, basically we are trying to pass the message to the community that it is important to celebrate this day, as well as not to forget that people with disabilities should be provided with these opportunities not only on 3rd December but throughout their lives.
Now, we hear that you launched a campaign entitled I Love Care recently. Now, this sounds interesting that there is a campaign of such a name, I Love Care. Of course, we do all love care, but what is this campaign exactly about?
When we started the campaign, it was actually with regard to 15 years of services, and since it's a huge step for an organization and NGO working in the Maldives to pass that milestone, we thought it is important that we draw a lot of attention to the organization, especially to the people for whom we are working for, that is people with disabilities. And care basically is a very, very powerful word, which has a double meaning for us, which means care society as an organization, and also it means caring for others or caring for yourself. So care is a very, very strong word. So we thought everybody should embrace that word. We need to identify that word as a part of our community, as a part of ourselves. And if we can draw a lot of attention to disability in terms of care as well, people would actually think of it as a very positive thing rather than something that they should like something that they think that it is someone else's responsibility, but they will also own it as their own responsibility, because disability we cannot separate it from other things. It is a cross-cutting issue, like it has to be mainstreamed at all levels. When we talk about gender issues, disability would be there. When we talk about youth issues, disability would be there. When we talk about development, disability should be there. So in everything that we do within our community, disability should be a part of it. So we thought that it is important that people get access to such information as well as be a part of this. So in order to create that opportunity for people to be a part of our work, the work done at Care Society as well as the work that is done for the sector of disability, we thought it is important that this campaign goes on. And we named it as 16 years and beyond, like we have been in this field for 16 years now. So like after this campaign can go on, and I love care, it means you care about something, so we want to focus that care on people with disabilities.
Now, what other activities are being carried out by Care Society?
Basically, we have few programs that we focus on specifically for people with disabilities. One of those areas is Care Development Center. Care Development Center is actually a special school which focuses on providing education and rehabilitation for people with disabilities. We have children, we have adults, and our focus is not only on a specific disability, but rather we have all different types of disabilities. And the programs that we run at CDC is basically focusing on individual development of people. Like we have an individual education plan where we focus on different areas of skills development. It includes socialization, self-help skills, independent living skills, communication, motor development, academics, literacy. So all these things are incorporated in these plans, and we have, based on the disability and the skills of the individual people, individual person with disability, we focus our program on that. And we provide skills development training for those students who come to CDC. And CDC is mainly based in Male, and we have another program named based rehabilitation program which is focusing on the outer islands. And we actually, since we started, we have identified that most people who are listed at Care Society and also through our experience, most people with disabilities live in outer islands. And in outer islands, it's very, very difficult to get access to many of the services. Even with the development that we have reached right now, there are still so many islands that lacks even basic necessities that should be provided to people with disabilities. So our idea of introducing CBR in 2002 was actually to reach the outer islands and to see how the community can actually play a huge role in the field of disability. So community-based rehabilitation, the name itself, it says it should come from the community, it should come within the community. So we do conduct a lot of trainings, a lot of awareness programs in order to develop people within the community to become advocates of people with disabilities. It includes people with disabilities, it includes families of people with disabilities, and also teachers, community health workers, and just community members who are interested to be a part of this program. And right now we have in 5 islands, and we've been actually able to sustain the program in these islands since 2002. Two of the islands we started in 2002, and since then we have actually expanded to a few more islands. And apart from that, even though we don't have a community-based rehabilitation program, we do conduct a lot of trainings and awareness programs in other islands as well. We have a team of trainers within our society, Care Society, and we do reach to other communities, and we provide this technical and awareness support for them as well. So working in the islands is also a part of our main work. And then the other thing that we tackle is training people in the field of disability, and training itself has been a huge issue. Even when we started in 2001, our center, when we started our center in 2001, we had the biggest barrier is not having teachers trained to teach children with disabilities. So we started with advanced certificate in special education, and since then we have been conducting different training programs in the field of disability. And right now we have certificate 3 in disability management that we are conducting every year. Every year we are focusing on about 20 to 25 people we are training from different sectors for disability management, and it covers basically a lot of basic concepts of what is disability and different type of disabilities, and how you can actually work with people with disabilities in your field. You can be a teacher, you can be a health worker, you can be a mother, you can be a community person, you can be anyone, but you will have the basic information that is required to work with a person with disability. So that's the focus of our program there. And apart from that, we do conduct a lot of advocacy and awareness programs within Malé and also in outer islands, and we do have few projects as well going on. But basically, those are the areas that we work in the field of disability.
Now let's look at the theme for this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Now the theme is Sustainable Development, the Promise of Technology. Now obviously information and communication technologies have had a vast impact on our daily lives, but the sad thing is that there are some people who lack access to these technologies, who are unable to use them. In short, they are unable to reap the benefits of what technology has brought to the modern world. So what do you think of the theme? Is this relevant to our society?
I think it's very relevant to our society. Maybe we haven't reached to that extent where technology is playing a huge role in every person's with disabilities, but I think if you really look into specific disabilities, like for example people with hearing impairment, they're using it a lot. It has actually reduced the barrier of communication for them, because they can actually use mass media and different mobile devices in order to communicate with each other. Their only barrier is actually communication. So technology has actually provided them with an opportunity to reduce that barrier. They are able to text their colleagues, they are able to text other people, they are able to communicate, use sign language through video conferencing, and so all these technological devices or technology has provided an opportunity for people with disabilities as well. And I think it's really interesting that a lot of people with visual impairment actually is in this business. when we talk about using mobile phones and all these things, they're actually earning through this. So the basic point I'm trying to say is that like Maldives has become very, very fond of telecommunication and internet and everything. And I think people with disabilities, along with them, along with everybody else, is actually part of this. And when we look into other countries, technology is very much used as a part of development. Like for example, I mentioned about skills development trainings we conduct at our center. A lot of children with autism, they can actually use different type of laptops and iPads and stuff. They have different functions and different things that can actually help them to learn better and understand things better. So I think that is one way of reaching out to people with disabilities as well, and that's something that we can actually integrate in our school system as well. Because a lot of children, they face difficulties because they are unable to communicate, and mass media or any technology has actually reduced that barrier by providing them that opportunity. So I think it's very relevant to our society, but maybe we are not to the extent that we are able to really make sure that everybody benefits from it. So I think lots of work need to be done. And I think the theme actually extends to expressing the importance of making technological devices or technology as part of how we can reach to the people with disability, reach to the community with disability. Like for example, in a disaster, like messages are sent out. So these messages need to be accessible to them. So technology can be used in that sense. If you can't hear, then you have to see the messages. If you can't see, then you have to hear the messages. So these things actually reduces the barrier of communication. And that is something that is very important for us to incorporate in our programs as well. And I think even at the national level, that interest is there, and probably with the coming up different projects, it will be incorporated there as well. So that's the idea.
Now, is the Kaya Society doing anything to ensure that the disabled people have access to information and communication technologies?
Right now we cannot say definitely that we are doing something to do this, but it is very much raised in different settings and different workshops and different opportunities. As much as we are not able to really create that platform where we can talk about this issue alone. Because basically when we talk about the rights of persons with disabilities, the basic rights are still very much in a basic state, like for example education and health. So it has become more of a focus for us, and even as a society we are very much focusing on that aspect, education and health. So, but the basic idea of creating accessibility for people with disability is a topic that we are always debating about, and wherever we go, whatever forum that we are talking in, we always try to bring up those issues and try to raise those issues so it will be incorporated in different developmental strategies as well. And especially the Disability Act, we were very much part of the Disability Act, and it has the clause which states that information should be accessible for persons with disabilities. And with that respect, I think we still need a lot of work to do, and right now the only thing that we have been able to succeed is raising that voice.
Now, I have with me here some statistics related to disability situation in the Maldives. Now, the first ever disability screening in the Maldives was conducted in 1981, which showed that 0.9% of the population, which translates to 1,390 persons, was comprised of persons with disabilities. The most recent disability prevalence rates show that the figure has increased to about 4.7%, which means 14,100 people have permanent disabilities in the Maldives. Now, does Care Society face any major challenges in reaching out to this 14,100 people?
When we look into our programs, I don't think we are able to even reach even a minimal amount of people among those who are considered as people with disabilities, as statistics says. But when we look into our society, we have about 500 people registered, and if you look into NSPA statistics, there will be over 5,000 registered. So many of them are still not registered at any place. So basically, we just have a statistical figure, but all people with disabilities are dispersed throughout the country. So that means we have to in order to reach to them, we have to have programs in all the islands. When we look at basic rights like education, I don't think NGOs can reach to this community that easily, because education itself is quite an expensive program where we spend a lot of money, and in order to sustain this program, it's very difficult to get different fundings from different places. So the basic idea of NGOs working in this area is actually to create a platform where people with disabilities who do not get support from any other place get an opportunity to work, get an opportunity to study, get an opportunity for basic health rights is given. So I think one of the basic challenges for NGOs and especially for care society is funding. So it's not the number of people with disabilities that is the major challenge for us. The major challenge for us would be how to reach to these people. How much support can we get? And when we talk about funding, I would like to highlight that, like for example, corporate social responsibility, which is something that is a very fancy word everybody uses. But when you really look into how it really works in this country, I don't think there is a very strong mechanism. I mean, lot of private organizations, lot of business parties are actually very willing to contribute and help NGOs, but there is no such mechanism where that support can be provided at a long-term or a sustainable manner. And I think that is something that the government need to think about. How can actually CSR reach to the NGOs, so NGOs would have an opportunity to sustain the programs that we are running. So that would be a huge challenge. And also people with disabilities, mainly most of the services that we have right now are very much centralized at capital city. And people with disabilities, many believe that they have to come to the capital city in order to get these services. So like even though they come to Male, not everybody would get those opportunities. Either there won't be any seats available in these places, or maybe the costs would be too high and they may not be able to stay here for long. So those barriers actually need to be reduced. So I think in the developmental plan of the country itself, it should be incorporated, not as a separate unit. Like for example, just because disability is there in all the islands, we have to have schools in all islands. No. We need to have schools in all islands because it is a basic right for everybody. So if there is a school, that schools should have accessibility for persons with disabilities. We shouldn't have separate schools for them. And I know that even though we say that it should be there would be lot of barriers in order to implement such programs. And I think there should be a focus where we will reach this stage at some point. So that focus needs to be there. And also, I think the importance of special education programs, especially for those children who may not be integrated into mainstream schools, should be prioritized within the government system as well. Otherwise, I don't think mainstreaming can happen. So I think those strategies need to be implemented at a national level rather than NGOs trying to reach out to the communities and doing individual work at some islands and not being able to cater to other islands. So I think it's very important that we cater to people with disabilities regardless of the figure that we have.
We're in conversation with Aisha Tluba, who is the Director of Programs at Care Society of Maldives. We'll take a short break now and return in a few minutes. Please stay tuned with us.
में मुनासिबत कवेस सजको बराबर सजको
we have a best.
ಜಪಾನ್ಗ ಉಫದ್ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇತುಬಾರು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ತೆರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯ ತೆರಕುರ ದಿವೆಹಿಂಗೆ ಇತುಬಾರು ನಿಫಾವ ಹಮೇಕನಿ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಕಿ ನಿಕಾಯಿ ದೆನ್ನಿಂದಾನ ಎನ್ನುಂತ ನಿಕಾಯಿಗೆ ಉಫದ್ದಂತ ಗುಲ್ಫಾವನಿ ಅಗುನ್ಮಂದ ಅಂಗನುನ ಜುವಾನುನ ದುವಸ್ತಿ ನೀತಿ එහෙම ගේ බදිගේ ෆ්‍රිහම වාණි නිකායිගේ සුඳුනේ අවනේ දොන්න මැෂිනේ ෆ්‍රිජින් නමයි සුරේ නිකායිගේ ක්වොලිටි එක සුවාලේ නිකායිගේ කොම්මෙච්ච එන්නගහ කොලිව දනවානි රෙඩ් වේව් ෆියාත් මිහාර නිකායිගේ රාජේක් සෝල් ඩිස්ට්‍රිබියුටර් කි රෙඩ් වේව් ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ්
Welcome back. You're watching Fourth Estate with me, Sashana Ahmed. Do you believe there are negative social attitudes towards the disabled people in our society? Do we treat persons with disabilities fairly and equally?
I think it's a very, very big question. Like when we started in 1998, people with disabilities are mainly kept at home. We don't normally see people with disabilities within our community, and there is a reason for that, like how people actually believe people with disabilities are and how they perceive them to be. It actually creates a huge barrier in our society. And I think in the past 16 years, we have seen a tremendous improvement in how people with disabilities have been integrated into our community. Like it is very common for us to see people with disability within our communities nowadays, and even though there are still a lot of barriers for them, we actually acknowledge them as part of our community, and I think it's a huge step for us as a community as a whole. And when we think about how perception actually and how people perceive people with disabilities, there's actually two sides to it. And there are, like, for example, there are people who perceive them as very, very, in a very positive manner, and there are people who view them in a very negative manner. And basically this perception or these attitudes comes with a lot of things that happens within our community. Like, for example, when we provide more opportunities for people with disabilities to be empowered, to be educated, to be more stronger as people, then the how others perceive them is very different. So it comes with a lot of responsibilities from our side as well. And like even now in some communities, it is not uncommon to see that people with disabilities are treated not fairly. They're not treated fairly. And even in some schools, it is not uncommon to see that some children with disabilities are not enrolled, and maybe it's because of how other parents perceive it, or maybe because the schools doesn't have the capacity to cater for children with disabilities. So based on many reasons, these perceptions are still there, and the more people can actually participate, people with disabilities, the more positive they will have. They will look towards people with disabilities. So I think that is how it actually works. When people with disabilities are more empowered, how they are perceived is very much different when they are not empowered or when they are not brought into the community. And how to change people's attitude is actually something that would be a huge challenge for Maldives, because we can provide a lot of services for people with disabilities, but if you don't perceive or if you don't believe that it could change something, then it may not happen. It may not be very possible to create that change. And when we talk about different services for people with disabilities, like for example employment, now we are like hearing it a lot. We are seeing that a lot of people with disabilities are given opportunities for employment, but that bridge is still very, very vague. Like for example, when they come out from school, are they given proper rehabilitation support for them to go into the next level, to go into employment? Those support, if that is not provided for them, I don't think they can be really integrated into work system. So with every opportunity, there has to come a mechanism where they can actually develop themselves. So empowerment is very important, and changing the perception of people, it would happen with such empowerment. And there is like a term we use, like discrimination. Discrimination is a terminology that we use when we say that people with disabilities are not fairly or equally treated. But we sometimes say it is good to be discriminated in a positive manner. Like for example, because you are a person with disability, you are given different type of opportunities, so that it will actually provide you with an opportunity to become more empowered. So that type of differences, or the way how you treat a person with disability, may differ how you treat a person without a disability. So that kind of changes or differences can actually increase or provide more opportunities for people with disabilities. So discriminating in a positive manner may be a very good thing for people with disabilities, because if they are not provided with the opportunity for skills development, we can't expect them to be at employment at an equal level with other people. So it has to come with how the opportunities are created for them, and how the skills are developed in order to make them more empowered. So basically saying that it's very difficult or very hard to say that people perceive positively or negatively towards people with disabilities. I think perception is changing a lot, and there are people who think in both ways.
I also think it would be wiser to change the terminology which we use when we are addressing people with disabilities. Now, instead of using the term disabled people, we can go for terms like persons or people with disabilities or special needs, for example. Now, do you face any difficulties in securing funds for your work? Now, Care Society, being an NGO, must be facing, I believe, some difficulties in getting funds. Is this true?
I think most of the NGOs in Maldives actually face that barrier. Funding is a huge issue in Maldives, and as one of the NGOs working in this field, especially working in service provision, it's a huge challenge for us. Like providing services for people with disabilities is a quite costly work. If you really need to provide a good service for people with disabilities, there are a lot of areas that you need to work on, like for example therapeutic interventions and specialized people to work with people with disabilities, and training people to work with people with disabilities. So all these things actually requires a lot of funds, and the main issue is like we can actually raise funds to conduct different programs, different projects, but it is very difficult to sustain the operational cost of the organization. But the most important thing is, in order to conduct a program, in order to provide a service for people with disabilities, we need to have people there. We need to provide them with a wage. We need to have a space, and unless we have a place or space, we cannot provide that service. So that operational cost is something that is very difficult for us to bear. And even for Care Society, we have been like since 2001 till last year, we have been running in a building that Care Society constructed, and with the support of different fund donors. But since then we have to pay a rent, and paying a rent is actually a very huge issue, and especially when you are providing a service, a basic right, that is education. We expect that there should be a mechanism where some kind of support is provided for such thing, like maybe a space. So there would be a special school for children with disabilities. Maybe providing them with the school fees, so that because it's their basic right, they don't have to pay for education. Some kind of a mechanism need to be there, and it is and as I mentioned before, CSR, corporate social responsibility, it's not very structurally based right now, and it is very much based on the individual companies or private parties upon their interest. But I think if there is a mechanism where that money can actually reach out to all the NGOs that are working in different fields, and if there is a mechanism where it will actually create an opportunity for them to sustain their existence, then it would be a very good thing for all the NGOs.
As you mentioned, funding is a huge burden for almost all local NGOs here in the borders. Now, do you get the cooperation you need from the authorities?
For a long time, actually, we didn't get any funding especially from the government. But since past 3 years, we have been getting some funds from the government, and I think with the importance given to this sector, it could actually expand from here. I think the first step is already taken, that recognition is there, and the government and other authorities realize the need of having NGOs in this sector, and the work that we are doing is acknowledged by them. And I think that is very important, that the government realizes that it is important to sustain NGOs in order to provide support or provide opportunities for people with disabilities, because in order to really reach out to the communities, I think the best way to go about it is through NGOs, especially implementing services. And we hope that such fundings would be directed towards NGOs, so that the NGOs can actually play their role as implementing agencies, and the government can act as facilitating or monitoring bodies. And if that mechanism is established, it would be a huge step for us to move forward in this sector. But right now it's still a little vague.
Now, for an NGO to function effectively, you need the support from the public as well. You just can't play a single-handed game. So what changes would you like to see in the society when it comes to carrying out the work you do at Care Society?
I think their participation is one of the very important things that we really need. Like, for example, we conduct a lot of activities with the communities, and if they participated at some level, that would be a huge thing for us, because their participation actually says that they understand what we are doing and they are there to support us. And for all the NGOs, without that support, it wouldn't be easy for us to do any activity. Like, for example, the walk we had today, it would have been really good if the spectators could join us as well. You don't have to be a part of the NGO to be walking with us today. You can be anybody. You can be just a community member, and you can be a part of our walk. So that mindset is very important. So participation is, I think, the most important, the key thing here. And I think one of the things that we struggle is volunteerism. Volunteerism has different meaning to different people. Like, for example, some people believe that just because you are a volunteer, others have to come to you. But some people believe that because you volunteer, you have to go and do something for others. So different way, people view it differently. And I think it is important that volunteerism is promoted more and used for the advantage of people as well. Like, for example, there are a lot of opportunities like for example, if you want to study, you get in loans and things like that. If these schemes can actually take something like, if you volunteer, you get extra points, something like that. I think these practices are very much practiced in other countries as well, and maybe that is something that we can incorporate into our society as well. So it should have some weight. If you volunteer, it should mean something. If you're volunteering for an NGO, that should mean something for others as well as to you. So that recognition, maybe it's not there yet. So volunteerism is something that we really want to see within our community, and that with the volunteerism, that participation should be there. So, and one thing that we really appreciate is that we don't see many people who criticize our work. There are people who question us, but not many people criticize us. They are very supportive when we reach out to them. So I think I should actually say that to the community, that we really appreciate how community respond to our work. So that is something that we need to focus on as well. We also need to, as NGOs, we need to reach out to the community. We have audit reports, we have annual reports. We need to make sure that they get it, they see it, and they know what we are doing. And the negative perception toward how NGOs actually utilize funds is very much, I think, very minority group of people have this mindset at the moment. But generally, even the government and even the community perceive that NGOs do a very good job when it comes to funding as well. Whichever funds that are utilized to the NGOs, it is used for the purpose of the different programs that the NGOs run within the communities. So that is, I think, something that is very important for NGOs, that trust, having that understanding that NGOs are doing something for the community.
Now, the Care Society has a long history of 16 years. I mean, you have been in this business or this work for over like a decade now, and then you must have gained a lot of experiences working in this field as well. Now, what are some of the notable achievements the Care Society has achieved in its 16-year-long history?
I think we are really proud that people with disabilities are coming out themselves right now. Like when we started, we had to reach out to them and we had to practically beg parents to send their children to school. But now we see parents coming towards, parents saying that our children need to be educated, our children need this, and this is their right. So I think that is one of the we believe that Care Society did a huge role in changing this mindset within the community. So that would be one of our biggest achievement, I believe. And also we have been running our school center, special school for children with disabilities, for over 10 years now. And I think it's a huge achievement. With all the challenges that we are facing today, we have been able to work with a lot of children with disabilities and even mainstream them in different schools with the support that we have been able to provide within our center. So that would be another huge success. And also our community-based rehabilitation program, which is like one of the best practices within Asia, and we have been able to implement it in 5 islands. And so far, it has been one of the challenging programs that we have conducted in our society. But still, I think being able to continue it and having that program within us is a huge success for us as well. And Care Society is now actually recognized by many other NGOs and even by the government as one of the leading NGOs in the disability sector. So, and also we have affiliation with a lot of other national level networks as well. So I think it's a good achievement for our NGO as well.
Now, I believe that since the Care Society has a long list of goals and objectives it should achieve, the bottom line of all these goals and objectives would be to ensure that the people with disabilities in our society are integrated into the mainstream society without any discrimination. There should be no discrimination, no partiality towards a particular sector. Now, are you confident that we can achieve the total integration of the people with disabilities into our mainstream society?
Basically, it's our vision. Actually, we want to see an empowered community free of inequality. So that is the vision that we are working towards. And I think like having that vision itself is a very positive thing. Maybe we may not reach there within a decade or so, but I think we are moving forward, and there is no reason why we cannot integrate people with disabilities, especially when we're talking about basic rights. So we believe that when it comes to fundamental rights of people with disability, we should be at a stage where we can incorporate or integrate everybody with disabilities into mainstream systems. So we believe it is something achievable, but right now we are not quite near.
Now, what would be your vision for Maldivian society?
I believe that I would like to see a Maldivian community where people with disabilities are accepted, perceived in a positive way, and also we shouldn't be doing things because we are good at heart, but we should be doing things because we are good at heart, as well as we believe that it's their basic rights as well. So perceiving people with disability in a right-based approach would be something that I would really want our country to have.
Any messages to the public?
Thank you very much for everything the public is doing for us, because without their support, I don't think Care Society would be here right now. And we have faced huge challenges in our 16 years. Like we have almost collapsed in our 16 years time, but I think the reason why we are standing here is because our members, the community, parents, and everybody has supported us and provided that opportunity for us to look better and perceive better things in our community. So we hope to continue towards our vision and hope to get that support in future as well. So I would really like to thank the Maldivian community for that.
Sorry to cut you short, but that's all the time we have for now. We had a very insightful conversation. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
We wish you and the Care Society all the best in its efforts to ensure the welfare of people with disabilities in Maldivian society. This is me, Joyce Nami, signing off, hoping to return next week to discuss yet another issue of national and social importance. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.